Hello everyone, this is Krupal Wagela from BSc Star MF team. In this video, we will see how to modify non-editable fields of client via BSc Star MF website. So the non-editable field which I am referring to is those fields which were grayed out by the system automatically. So now, first of all, let's have a look which are the fields which cannot be modified directly via BSc Star MF website. So as you can see on your screen, these are the fields which cannot be modified via BSc StarMap website directly, and you can find these fields under the file name called enhance UCC process node. You can get this file from your respective RN, and under that file go to page number 15 where you can see this page, and under that you can see the fields which are non-editable directly via BSc StarMap website. Now before move to the modification, let me show you that which field and for which client I'll be going to modify, so it will give you a more clear picture. So before that, let me search the client. So for that, go to admin report, client master report. So I can search the client via client code or client name, or if I don't remember client code or client name, then I can give the period of date as well. So let me search via client code, select date type as created date, and click on and give from date of, let's say, date of 2011, any date of 2011, and click on view. Now click on client code. So as you can see, there are few fields which are already grayed out by the system. So these fields you can edit, okay, but right now I'll be going to edit only holding nature as an example. Okay, so let me show you that how can you edit any non-editable fields in BSc StarMF website. Now, these are the step summaries of modifying the non-editable fields of the client. First step, enter the details which you need to modify in the bulk upload file. Second, upload the bulk upload file via BSc StarMF website. Third, upload supporting documents if required via BSc StarMF website. Fourth, BSc StarMF team will verify the documents on T-day or T+1. The last step is investor will authenticate the details via authentication link, which they will receive from BSc StarMF either via SMS or via email. So the file which you are seeing in front of your screen, this is the bulk upload format for the non-editable fields modification. You need to fill up the details which you need to modify and then upload this file in BSc StarMF website. Remember, member code as well as client code, it cannot be modified, so it will always remain as it is. Also, the columns which are marked in red, these are the fields which you have to fill it up in this file compulsorily, irrespective whether you will be going to modify the details or not. So like I mentioned earlier, that I'll be going to change the holding nature of this client from join to anyone survivor. Meanwhile, I will also explain each and every field, so it will give you much more clear idea of the functioning of this field. First, member code. Mention your member code over here. Then mention the client code for which you want to modify the data. Mention the primary holder first name so that you can copy from here and paste it. Middle name as well as last name are non-mandatory fields, so you do not need to mention it. Also, remember, in case if you will be going to change the name of the primary holder, Then via BSc Starbucks website, you have to upload the PAN card of the primary holder. Next, tax status. So for tax status, currently it is NRE. So mention NRE over here. But instead of mentioning NRE, you have to mention tax status code, which you can get from the tax status sheet. So this is the tax status codes. Okay, so as you can see, there are codes mentioned in front of each tax status. So you have to mention the code under that bulk upload format. For example, if I will be mentioning individual, then I have to mention 01. Not only one, I have to mention 01. For NRE, the code is 21. So I will mention 21 over here. Primary holder date of birth. So also, I forget to tell you one thing. If you will be going to change the tax status, then you need to upload the proof of tax status of the primary holder to change the tax status under the UCC. Moving to the next field, primary holder date of birth. So mention the date of birth of the primary holder, which is 16 June 1991. So I'll mention it in DD, MM, YY format. In future, if you'll be going to change the date of birth of the primary holder, then you do not need to upload any documents. It can be changed after investor will authenticate. Moving to the next field, holding nature. So for holding nature, currently it is joint. I want to change it to anyone survivor. So for holding nature also, you need to mention the code of the holding natures. For example, SI represents single, JO represents joint, AS represents anyone survivor. So I need to change from joint to anyone survivor, so I will mention AS. In case if you'll be changing holding nature, then you do not need to upload any documents. Once the investor will authenticate, then the change will take impact. Moving to the next field, second holder first name. Now again, it's a non-mandatory field, but it is required in case of individual NRE and NRO tax status where the holding nature is joint or anyone survivor. So I have to mention the first name because the holding nature is joint. The holding nature is anyone survivor. So I will mention the second holder first name. I'll just select, copy and paste. Middle name and last name do not need to mention. Also make a note in case in future if you want to change the name of the second holder, then you need to upload the PAN card copy of the second holder in BSc Stamp website. Third holder first name. Third holder first name, again I do not need to mention it, but because it is required in case of individual NRE and NRO tax status with the holding nature of joint or anyone survivor. So my holding nature is anyone survivor, so I will mention only the first name of the third holder. Middle name and last name I do not need to mention right now because I am not changing that. Make a note, if you will be changing the name of the third holder, then you can mention the details like first name, middle name, last name, the updated details, and then you have to upload the PAN card copy of the third holder to change the name. Moving to the next field, guardian first name. Because the investor whose details I am changing right now is not a minor, therefore guardian details are not required. It is required only in case where the tax status is on behalf of minor or NRI minor. Otherwise, you have to leave it as blank. In case if you will be changing the guardian first name or middle name or last name, then you need to upload the PAN card copy of the guardian in BSc StarMF website. Moving to the next field, primary holder PAN exam. This field is not required in case of minor on behalf of minor or NRI minor tax status. So right now my tax status is NRE, so I have to mention the details over here. So if my primary holder is not a PAN exempted investor, then I will mention as N. Otherwise, I will mention as Y. In case if you will be changing the primary holder PAN exempt flag in future, then you do not need to upload any documents. Investor will receive an authentication link via email and SMS. Once you authenticate it, this change will take impact. Moving to the next field, second holder PAN exempt. Now again, this is required only in case of individual NRE and NRO tax status with joint or anyone survivor holding nature. In this client code, the holding nature is anyone survivor. So I need to mention the details over here. So if my second holder is not PAN exempted, then I will mention as N. Otherwise, I need to mention as Y. And this also in future, if you want to change the PAN exempt flag, then you do not need to upload any documents. Investor will authenticate via authentication link, and that change will take impact. Moving to the next field, third holder PAN exempt. It is also required only in case of individual NRE and NRO tax status with joint or anyone survivor holding nature. Otherwise, leave it as blank. Because the holding nature currently is anyone survivor in this client code, so I need to mention the data over here. Because third holder is non-PAN exempted, then I will mention as N. Otherwise, I would have mentioned as Y. In case if you will be changing third holder PAN exempt flag, then you do not need to upload any documents. Once the investor will authenticate via authentication link, this change will take impact. Guardian PAN exempt, this will only require if the tax status is on behalf of minor or NRI minor tax status. Otherwise, you have to leave it as blank. And in this column also there are only two values you need to enter, either Y or N. If guardian is PAN exempted, then you can enter Y, or otherwise you can enter N. In case if you want to change this flag also, you do not need to upload any documents. Once the investor will authenticate via authentication link, the change will take impact. Primary holder PAN, so I need to mention primary holder PAN over here. Remember, it is not required in case of on behalf of minor or NRI minor tax status. Otherwise, you need to mention over here. So primary holder PAN, I will just select from here, copy and paste. In case if you will be changing the PAN number of the primary holder, then you need to upload the PAN card copy in BSC StarMF website of primary holder. Moving to the next field, second holder PAN. It is required in case of individual NRE and NRO tax status with joint or anyone survivor holding nature. Otherwise, you have to leave it as blank. Because in this current UCC, the holding nature is anyone survivor. So I will mention the PAN number over here. Remember, in case if you will be changing the PAN number of second holder in future, then you need to upload the PAN card copy of second holder to change it. So for second holder, I will just select, copy and paste. Now for third order PAN, it is required only in case of individual NRE and NRO tax status with joint or anyone survivor holding nature. In this case, the holding nature is anyone survivor, so I have to mention third holder PAN as well. So I will go to the website, copy and paste it over here. For modification, need to upload the PAN card of the third holder to modify this. Guardian PAN is required only in case of on behalf of minor or NRI minor tax status. Otherwise, leave it as blank. Again, to modify it, like it mentioned, you need to upload PAN card to change the details of the guardian, PAN details of the guardian. Primary holder PAN exempt category, second holder PAN exempt category, third holder PAN exempt category, as well as guardian exempt category. Now this field is depend on the PAN exemption flag. So if the PAN exemption flag is Y, then you have to mention the category details over here. If the PAN exemption flag is N, then you then you can leave it as it is. So if you remember the pen exemption flag we had mentioned over here as N, N and N for primary, second and third order. So I can leave this field as it is, and because it is not minor, then again I can leave this field as it is. How to get the pen exemption category details? So there is a sheet available, pen exemption category. Over here, as you can see, the category codes are mentioned, the description in front of the codes are mentioned. Whichever the appropriate category of the investor is applicable, mention that category in the bulk upload format. Mention as 01, 02, 03. Okay, do not mention as 1, 2, 3. Mention as 01, 02 and 03, like that. Moving to the next field, client type. So client type, mention either it is physical or demat. So right now the client type is physical, so I'll mention P over here. Okay, let me check that. Yes, it's physical. And this is, in this case also, remember, in each of these fields, prime holder exam category, second holder exam category, third holder exam category, guardian exam category, client type, okay, the document required has been mentioned. If the document is not required, then the statement is clarifying it that there is no document required for updation of these fields. Investor will receive the authentication link, so once they will authenticate, the change will take impact. Okay, so wherever the no need to upload the documents is mentioned, then you do not need to upload the documents for any modification of the specific fields. Only the investor will receive an authentication link via email and SMS, and once they will authenticate it, then the change will take impact. Next field is PMS, which is applicable only in case of demat client. So if the client type is D, then you can mention the PMS value. It can be either Y or N. So you can mention the value as per that. Otherwise, leave it as it is in case of physical. CMBP ID, it is mandatory only in case if the PMS is Y, PMS flag is Y, then you have to mention the CMS BP ID over here. Default DP, if the client is demat, then you have to mention whether it is CDSL or NSDL. Then you can mention the value over here. CDSL DPID, if the default DP is equal to CDSL, then you have to mention the DPID of CDSL over here. CDSL client ID, if the default DP is CDSL, then you have to mention CDSL client ID over here. NSDL DPID and NSDL client ID will be required in case the default DP is NSDL. You have to mention default DP. You have to mention NSDL DPID as well as NSDL client ID over here. In this case also, as you can see, no need to upload documents for modification. Investor will receive the authentication link to authenticate it, and the change will take impact. Primary holder KRA exam reference number, second holder KRA exam reference number, third holder KRA exam reference number, guardian exam reference number. So in fact here also guardian KRA exam reference number. So now this four fields, it depend again on the pen exemption flag. If the pen exemption flag is Y, then you have to mention the reference number, exemption reference number over here. And again, if the pen exemption flag is no, then you can leave these fields as it is. For modification in these four fields, do not need to upload any documents. Investor will receive authentication link, and once the authentication is done, then the change will take impact. KYC type, primary holder KYC type. So let me check the KYC type over here. So I will mention the KYC type as it is. It is KRA compliant. So the value of KRA compliant is K. Similarly, the value for C KYC compliant is C. The value for biometric KYC is B, and the value for other eKYC pen is E. So mention the appropriate value over here. So right now I will be not going to change the primary holder KYC type, so I will mention it as it is. The KYC type. Primary holder CKYC number will come into the picture if the primary holder KYC type is equal to C. Second holder KYC type, I think it is also mentioned as KRA compliant. So I will mention second holder KYC type as K. Second holder CKYC number is required only if the second holder KYC type is C, otherwise leave it as blank. No need to upload any document. Third holder KYC type, again is mentioned as KRA compliant, so I will mention the value as K. Third order CQSC number is not required because the value is K. If the third order QSC type value is C, then I have to mention the CQSC number over here. Guardian KYC type is not required because the text status is NRE. In case if the text status will be on behalf of minor or NRA minor, then in that case I have to mention the Guardian KYC type over here as well. Guardian CQSC number is not required because right now Guardian KYC type is blind. If Guardian KYC type is equal to C, then I have to mention Guardian CQSC number over here. In all these KYC type cases, all these columns, as you can see, no need to upload the documents for modification. Investor will receive the authentication link to authenticate and the change will take impact. Rest of the columns are filler, which you need to leave it as blank. In the last column, mention any symbol. Like over here, I mentioned the close bracket, so mention any symbol. Okay, and we are done with the data filling. Now select row number 1 to 4, right click and click on delete. So as you can see, the only data is remaining over here. Go to file, click on save as, select type, file type, and select CSV, delimited. Give file name anything. I will give mod 2 and click on save. It will give this message. Just click on OK and then close this file. Now moving to our mod 2 file, which is over here. Again click on right click, open with notepad. Now select the entire data by clicking on Ctrl A, select the entire data, copy the data, copy, and then go to file, click on new, paste it over here. Now the data is showing is only for one client. Similarly, you can do the modification for multiple client also in the same file only. Okay, so if let's say if it would be a data of multiple. Now first go to edit, click on replace. Under find what, text box, and under replace with text box mention pipe. The pipe as in vertical line. This symbol you can get in your keyboard above the enter button. Okay, so you have to just press shift and press that button. Click on replace all. So the comma will be replaced with the pipe. Next, under find what, again mention that open bracket, and under replace with, do not mention anything, just leave it as blank and click on replace all. So now this is the actual data which we need to upload. So again go to file, click on save as, and click on this select the path and give any file name. So I'll give file name as mod1 and click on save. So now the file is saved. Now let's go to BSc StarMap website. So now make a note of the path where you need to upload the file. Go to admin, client details, client master upload. Select client type as modify-exchange. Select the file and click on upload. Now there will be two results or circumstances. First, either if the file is okay, then it will give you a message that file has uploaded successfully. If there is if there will be any error in the file, then it will give you a message like this, that file has not been uploaded with the file name. You can download the error file from the following links. You can click on the link and you can make sure that error, whichever error is giving, you need to rectify it. Currently the error is showing that image upload status is pending. Kindly contact to admin, because I have already tried to upload this file earlier today only. That's why it is not accepting the same data. But I hope you get the idea that how to upload the file. Also, let me show you that how to upload the supporting documents like the PAN card or the tax status proof. So for that, go to admin, client details, e-log image upload. But before uploading the documents, let me show you the important instructions to upload this document. So the important instruction is, first, the size of the file must be less than 2 MB. Second, you can upload the file either in JPG or TIFF format. Third, make sure to scan the documents in black and white mode, clear image only. The last is, you can give the file name in any format. So now over here, select type as UCC modification, enter the client code, select the file, and then click on upload. So now, once the upload will be done, BSC will verify the details, BSC will approve the details, and then investor will receive the authentication link to approve this updated data. To check the approval status, you can go to admin, admin report, client master, modify exchange. Over here, you can search by client code, or if you don't remember the client code, you can search by mentioning the particular data as well. Click on view. So you can see the data which I had uploaded for the holding nature change from join to animal survivor. It is showing over here, and if you scroll right, it will show you this modify status as pending. Once it will get approved, then the status will change to approved, and that same data will reflect under the client master. Thank you for watching.